jobs and you work with people like younger than you. So I remember it was September 11th. We talking about September 11th. And I was with a group of my coworkers. And I was like, where were you September 11th? And them babies said, I wasn't even born. I was like, damn. Damn, I feel old. Listen, having young coworkers will make you feel old, bitch. Like, golly. You wasn't born on September 11th? Man. My September 11th story was, I was in school and like I was in a like this program, like a program. So I wasn't like in class. Like I stayed in this program all day. I was in like 8th grade. And we didn't change classes. We stayed in the same room all day. It was called the RISE program. We was in the RISE program. I don't even think they have that program anymore, but that was the RISE program. It was to help us to pass, because at the time you had to pass the FCAT. I think that's what it was called, the FCAT. And so we were in a class basically focused on the FCAT, because the year before we scored so low on the FCAT, you know, but at the 8th grade year was the year you needed to pass to go to high school. So we were put in a classroom where we just focused on the FCAT all year. And my teacher, we were like in a little closet. Like our classroom was like a closet. Like it was like a room they built for us. And so we like wherever they did morning announcements, we were on the other side of that where they did morning announcements. And I remember my teacher, she was like, oh, they hit a plane crash in the World Trade Center, right? And I didn't know what the World Trade Center was. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what it was. And I was like, a plane crash in the World Trade Center. Okay, whatever. And then the second plane hit, like, remember they hit right back to each, like they hit close, like within 30 minutes or 40, like within an hour of each other. The two planes had hit the World Trade Center. And I remember when the second plane hit, my teacher, her name was Miss Kelly, she started sobbing, like she just started crying, like, and I didn't know why. Like I was like, I didn't know what the World Trade, she was trying to explain it to us, and we did, like, half of the class, some of the class knew what the World Trade Center was, and the other half didn't know. So we had she couldn't talk, so she allowed one of the students to like describe that day. And he was just like, oh, it's the World, he drew a picture of the World Trade Center, still didn't know what it was. And then like a couple of hours later, I want to say, I don't know how many hours later, maybe 1 or 2 hours later, my mom come to the school and pick me up. Like I remember all the students started leaving one by one. So and so come to the office, early dismissals. Like they just started going through like everybody just started leaving. And I didn't know I was gonna leave. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have no way to communicate with our parents. So my mom came to the school to pick me up. Rest in peace. I love you so much, mommy. She came to the school and picked me up, and she was crying. Like my teacher was crying, she was crying. And I remember, like, I didn't know what the fuck, like I didn't know why. And like I remember, like my mother was like, oh, the plane crashed in front of the building, da 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 da. And like, you know, she just was crying. Like she tried to explain it to me the best that she could, but I still couldn't understand it. And I remember going home, and we put it on the news like everybody else, and it was just like the full coverage of the World Trade Centers. And then I remember the next plane had crashed. Like I remember all the planes crashing. And I just remember like not understanding. Like I didn't understand that the building was full of people, the plane was full of people, planes were full of people. I didn't understand that. I remember it was like days later when I understood the plane had a lot of people in it. And I was like, oh my God. It was like, I remember like in that moment, I remember not understanding the magnitude of it, like how big it was. I remember not understanding that. And then I remember when it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like when I actually understood what was actually happening, I remember like crying like crazy. Like it was like days later. It wasn't even the same day. It was like days later. I was like, oh, all the people in the plane, they died. And I just remember being so heartbroken. I think it was like a news, like because after that happened in school, we started like, you know, getting newspapers and reading articles. Like that was what we did. We looked at, you know, we researched it. And then I remember when they had the plane list of people, I was in school when it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like all those people died. Like to this day, today, I still cry. I watch every 9/11. I watch a movie on, they have so many documentaries about 9/11. It's one that I love the most. Damn, I don't even know what it's called. They go play by play. It's not even it's a documentary, like with live clips, like people that were in the towers, like filming. It was the it just so happened the firefighters, they were doing a documentary on their own, and it just so happened they was recording that day, you know, they was filming that day, and they recorded it being in the building, and they recorded the moment the first tower fell, and they recorded it. It's on, it's a movie. I don't know what it's called. I'm pretty sure it's called September 11th. You just put September 11th. It's an act, and like I watched that the first time I watched it. I was sobbing uncontrollably. Like it hurt me to like that. It sticks with me to this day. I've been to Ground Zero. I was at Ground Zero before the museum when it was still rubble. And I never went to the museum, and I want to go to the museum. I feel like this year or next year I will be going to the World Trade Ground Zero, just because like my heart is there. Like I cry so much for that. Like, you know, God rest everybody's soul that died that day. It was like 3,000 people that died that day, and 3,000 plus. I think it was like 3,000 plus. I know it's 3,000, but it's more than 3,000. Like 3,000 is however many hundreds more. But it's just so sad. It was a class. It was a fifth grade class that was in the bottom of the World Trade Center. None of those people made it. Like it just so sad. And I just want to say thank you to all the fire rescues. And then let me tell you, they have health. The fire rescue people, they have health problems because they were breathing in all that toxic air. They like half of the motherfuckers died from cancer, lung cancer, because of the it's just sad, you know. And I just want to say God bless America, you know. Oh, I'm about to cry. Why am I about to cry? It's 24 years ago, and I don't have no ties to New York. I don't have no family from New York, but as a American, a proud American, this day it will stand out in my memory forever, you know. Like I'm just like, it's something that will stick with me forever. Like I would never forget where I was on September 11th 2001. That's when it happened. I would never forget that moment. I would never forget my mom just being, rest in peace mommy, like just being, coming to get me, and just being so, you know, I feel like I get my empathy from my mother. Like she was just so empathetic of everybody that died that day, and just like the memories I have of that day. And like, you know, I'm a proud American. God bless America, and rest in peace to every last soul that died that day and the days after, because people died after that too, and it's just so sad. But all right, I'm done yapping.